We've heard years ago, lectins were the bad thing that people were fearing. And there are proteins that are known to bind carbohydrates. So they're a carbohydrate binding protein, and they're in foods like nightshades. So nightshade vegetables are things that have small seeds in them. Think tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, different foods that contain nightshades. So for years, we were hearing, don't eat lectins. It's the lectins that are bad for you. There's no data to show that lectins themselves are bad for you. And there are over 85 plant foods that contain lectins. Usually they are detrimental if you're eating them in a form that you're not supposed to be eating them in, like raw kidney beans. You're not supposed to eat beans raw like that. So if you're eating raw kidney beans, yeah, sure, you can certainly have issues and actually really harm yourself if you're eating that content of lectins. But again, it's not sexy to give that context and that background to say, if you just soak them and cook them, most of the lectins are
Sorry, I want
reduced.
to back up. We're going to continue with lectins, but I want to do, so we did oxalates, gave that context, and then I want to just leave where how can people break down oxalates just really quickly. So it's actually the foods that contain oxalates will help you kind of grow, so to say, the oxalobacter bacteria that can help them break it down. And then we can do that for lectins as well as you continue the conversation on lectins. But yeah.
Yeah. So, it's super important to have that context and really understand with that, like, is it the lectins? Is it the oxalates? Because they've actually done studies. They put groups of people on a no lectin diet and a high lectin diet and measured specific inflammatory markers like sedimentation rate, C-reactive protein. And they actually found inflammatory markers decreased when people were eating high amounts of lectins. We do know those who are in the blue zones, which controversial in itself, but we can say, for the most part, those who are in the blue zones are consuming a lot of these lectins, have lower inflammatory markers. So there's no marked data to say these increase autoimmune disease, but we do know autoimmune disease is associated with fractured guts. So it's going back to the source and just asking more productive questions and saying, how can we work on our guts, like James was mentioning, so that way we can digest lectins and we can digest oxalates as well. So with lectins, like I was mentioning, soak foods that are high in lectins because that actually pulls a lot of them out into the water. So whether that's nuts or seeds or whole grains or beans, do that. You can freeze certain fruits and vegetables and that will break down the compound. You can cook them and that denatures that lectin protein as well. So if you're worried about how you'll digest them, you can do some of these different things.
For those of you that don't know, Dahlia was our first patient. She struggled with SIBO and IBS and so many GI problems on a day-to-day basis, hunched over, causing so many other issues. We wish we had a protocol in place, a program in place that led her through step by step, inch by inch, and really guide by guide, so she had everything at her fingertips. Now we have that. That is our Good Gut SIBO IBS program. You can do it 100% plant-based. You can customize it, but it is one of the only programs that is geared towards plants that can help you customize plants, that can help you tolerate more plants, and really gets to the root of your SIBO, of your IBS, of your ISO, SIFO, IMO, and any other type of overgrowth.